Here's part 2. I grabbed tulle from Hobby Lobby. Each strip I made is about 22 inches. This package so happened to be the right length needed. So I used that to wrap the tulle around it and use that instead of cutting each piece individually. It saved me some time. Add the tulle as if you're making a tutu. The first layer I added to the top of the bottom garbage can. You could leave it at one layer, but I wanted 2 layers just so it was fluffy. So I added another layer to the bottom of the top garbage can. I wrapped the handle with tulle. To hold it in place, I put a little hot glue at the beginning and at the end. I cut my fabric in 2 pieces. I ironed the edges down so the edges would look finished. I folded my fabric in half so I would know where the middle was, and I glued the middle to the middle of the cleavage. I glued the fabric along the front edge of the basket. And once I got the fabric glued to the front of the basket, I began to pull it around the back. And some of it I had to kind of bunch it up a little bit and just made it as flat as possible. And I just glued it piece by piece to the back. The reason I use 2 pieces of fabric to cover the top is because it was easier for me to get a snug fit with using 2 pieces. When I use 1 piece, I really struggled getting the fit I wanted. Here I'm adding my second piece. I glue one side down and pulled the other side as tight as possible. And I just went and glued piece by piece and also glued the fabric to the tutu so it would stay down. I used some of the fabric to make a bow. I glued the side down. I took cotton balls and stuffed it just to make it a little fluffy and glued the other side down and made a bow and put the bow on the back of the dress. Here I'm adding pearls to the front of the dress. I've seen people put flowers, rhinestones, bows, so decorate it however you want. I made this for my daughter's 8th grade graduation, so I added a graduation cap. I didn't make a video of how I made that, but I used a pool noodle and a piece of cardstock, and I wrapped it with tulle. And then I had a tassel from Dollar Tree, and I added that to the hat. I secured the graduation hat to the basket using a zip tie. If you want me to make a video on how I made the graduation cap, just let me know and I'll make one. The last thing I did was add lights. I glued the battery pack to the inside of the garbage can. I plan on filling it with flowers or making a money bouquet, but this is it. Let me know if you guys have any questions.